Hey everybody, I'm Asian Funk. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm joined by Joe of Fatboy Cosplay. He is another Bay Area cosplayer. And yeah, thanks for being here, by the way.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you.
So yeah, we were talking earlier about how you know Raider Mike, and you want to talk about how you got into cosplay?
Yeah, sure. So a little over 4 years ago, I needed a new hobby, basically. And I have so many hobbies. I have so many things that I'm into, but I just needed another one. And I've been going to cons, and at that time, I remember going to Silicon Valley Comic Con, the very first one in 2016.
Yep.
And
I remember that one too.
yeah, and I hopped on the DeLorean time machine, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is fun," you know. And Back to the Future has always been my favorite movie since I was 7, and after that con, I was like, you know what? I should get into cosplay. I should get into this whole entire world of stuff. And because I've seen cosplayers and I took a lot of pictures with them, and I was just like, wow, these guys must be having like so much fun, and like they're getting so much attention and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I get into it and see how it goes? And due to the inspiration of Silicon Valley Comic Con, my first cosplay was the ultimate cosplay that I'm known for, which is Marty Mcfly. So
that's right. Yeah, I was going through your Instagram, and like, yeah, you actually, I realized that there are fans, and they're like mega fans, and I think you're definitely a mega fan. Like you got to meet Biff. I thought that was pretty cool.
I did. Yeah, I met Biff. I met Claudia Wells, the actress who played Jennifer Parker in the first Back to the Future film. I've met Mayor Goldie Wilson. I've met Jeffrey Wiseman, the actor who played George McFly in part 2 and 3 of Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when Crispin Glover got replaced, or he left, from what I've read, he left the franchise, or not the franchise, but the film or the sequel, because he wanted to get equally paid. Or he wanted his paycheck to be as much as Michael J. Fox's or something like that.
Oh, I did not know
that.
that.
I think that's, I can't really remember the whole story, but he quit, and Jeffrey Wiseman took over as George McFly in part 2 and 3. And yeah, I met him, and he's a pretty cool dude. Yeah. That's, and I haven't met Michael J. Fox, nor Christopher Lloyd, nor Leah Thompson yet. That's still on my list.
Really? But they were, all three of them were at the, they were at the first year, right?
Yes, they were at Silicon Valley Comic Con, but I saw Michael J. Fox from afar,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, oh boy, there he is, and I saw Christopher Lloyd and all that stuff from afar too, but I never got the chance to meet him. Actually, from what I remember, something unfortunate happened that day. But I still made it anyway because I just wanted to take my mind off it. Actually, somebody hacked into my bank account and robbed me of $6,000. So,
oh man!
But I still made it to that con
anyway. That same day.
That same day, yeah, that morning, I found out, and I was so pissed off, and oh my God, I remember that, and I remember not spending. Well, actually, I only spent like $20,
whatever cash you had in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly, and that was it. And actually, I remember the first Silicon Valley Comic Con. I remember winning those tickets to that con because, man, it was both a lucky day and a very unlucky day. Actually, I won those tickets to Silicon Valley Comic Con because I the Facebook page of Silicon Valley Comic Con.
Oh yeah, they had a giveaway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a giveaway, and they said, like what celebrity you want to meet, and why, and stuff like that, and the winner, whoever writes the best sort of essay, will reward you with a ticket to Silicon Valley Comic Con or 2 tickets to Silicon Valley Comic Con, and yeah, I wrote whatever I wrote, and I think I wrote that I wanted to meet Stan Lee, and I wrote the reason why and all that stuff, and I kind of went on a few paragraphs, and yeah, and lo and behold, I won 2 tickets to Silicon Valley Comic Con, the very first one.
That's
and
awesome.
then yeah, that day I got robbed of $6,000, and then
I'm sorry that happened, and I feel terrible for bringing this up. I should have.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I've what do you call it? That I think that's the first time I told anyone about
This is pre-recorded, by the way. This is a pre-recorded interview, so if you
it's okay.
You're good. Okay, all right.
It's all right. I'm good. That's okay. It's because like I totally forgot that happened, because I obviously you don't want to remember things like that, you know. Yeah. But yeah, that did happen to me that day, and but at the same time, I did win tickets to Silicon Valley Comic Con, and I just couldn't do much.
Yeah.
Except take pictures and hop on the time machine. So
I think that was the best year that Silicon Valley. That was like, I think, the best year of all of the 3 years that they had it. Like, I feel like every year after was like it just slowly wasn't as good,
right.
And like, yeah, have you? Did you go to Silicon Valley every year?
Yes, I went.
Yeah, I think I saw. I don't remember seeing you at last year's, but I saw that you posted a picture from last year.
Yeah, I've gone in all the years it happens.
Okay. Yeah. I think I missed one year. Yeah. I went,
you did.
Yeah, I think I went basically anytime Stan Lee was there.
I see.
I didn't go to the Star Trek one. I didn't go when the year that they had the Star Trek panel.
I see. I was there. Yeah, I was there. I went to all Silicon Valley Comic Cons.
Nice. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I'm really bummed that that it's not happening, but also that it changed ownership, because I know it's not Adam Savage's science, whatever, and it's like, that's cool, but like, what about the comics and stuff?
Right. It went from Steve Wozniak to Adam Savage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
Well,
yeah.
It actually went. I think they didn't go to some other guy. It was Stan Lee and Steve Wozniak, and then it went Steve Wozniak, and then it was like some guy, and then now it's Adam Savage. I think there was a guy in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because 2017, 2018 of Silicon Valley Comic Con, I volunteered as
lucky. I've always wanted to volunteer.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty fun job, surprisingly. Yeah. Most cons, or almost all cons, you don't really get paid. You get free badges. You get, free lunch or whatever. But at Silicon Valley Comic Con, I do remember them actually paying us, and it was a small thing, but it was pretty fun. It was I didn't mind the whatever they gave us, whatever paycheck we had. It's a fun job.
Yeah, and I think they gave you like a little stipend, but really, I mean, the real payoff is like being able to hang out with other people who are into pop culture nerdy stuff, and also potentially meeting some celebs, right? Like being able to be a handler or a line person. Like, I think that's pretty fun.
In fact, I remember day one of Silicon Valley Comic Con 2017. I remember at the very end of the day, the whole con was closed. Everybody went home, and I was trying to make my way home. And I came across this huge curtain, and I heard this familiar but raspy voice, beyond the curtain. And I went past, went around the curtain, and there was Flash Gordon himself, Sam Jones.
Oh, wow!
And and I was like, oh my god.
He's a tall guy. He is huge.
He is.
he's a massive dude.
Yeah, he's very, very tall. Obviously I'm a short guy, but I could say that to everybody. I met Sam Jones, and I told him, like, like my favorite Queen album is actually the Flash Gordon soundtrack. I adore.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
funny.
movies are my life. Yeah, and when I was 8 and when I first saw Flash Gordon, I just like, man, the soundtrack, the just like the tongue and cheekiness of the movie, it's just like that. Like was one of the movies that actually my dad sat me down and have had me watch, as a kid amongst many movies. But yeah, like that kind of took me back, and then fast forward to meeting Flash Gordon himself. I took like a quick selfie with him and had a nice conversation. He was a really cool dude. And I've met him a few more times after that con, but that was the first time I met him, and I was like, wow. This is what volunteering is. This is what volunteering is.
Yeah, well, because you
cons,
get access to like the backstage and just like the waiting rooms and stuff like
yeah.
that. So yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool. I'm super jealous. I've only volunteered for one convention, and that was the San Francisco Comic-Con when they had it at like.
I volunteered in that one too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where they had it in the hotel.
Yes. I volunteered at the very first one at the San Francisco Marriott.
Yes, yeah, I think that was the one I volunteered at too. It was the one where Kristen Ritter canceled and so did Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and also what was it Ian McDermott, Darth Sidious himself, took over, I think, for Kristen Ritter and Jason Momoa, and then also who else was there? Manu Bennett was there.
Yes. Yeah.
And
that's funny. But it's so crazy because like, man, it was so disorganized. I don't know if you remember.
It was very disorganized.
It was so bad. It was like they gave me an earpiece that didn't work, and then they were just like,
oh wow,
just go and they were like, okay, here's the clipboard, and just go like monitor the floor. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
that's all I had to do was walk around the floor, and then if people ask me questions, be like, oh yeah, the bathroom's this way and the elevator's that way. It was so crazy. I mean, it was fun, but I was just like,
yeah, it was fun.
You guys don't have any idea what you're doing.
Yeah, no, they didn't. At least that year they didn't.
The first year.
Because I remember, that year, day one of that con, I was working. I was working the front entrance of the exhibitor hall, and I remember I took like a 1 hour lunch break, and like, cause like and then all of a sudden, like the guy I was chatting with, like he had to walk. He was I think one of the I don't know what his role was at that con, but he had a walkie-talkie, and they were like, "Hey, we're looking for a guy named Joe, because he's supposed to be here like half an hour ago." And it was like, oh, that's probably me. And then I went back down after my I'm sorry, but like, you should have rung me up earlier, you had my number and everything, so like, and I remember day 2 and 3 I worked photo ops, and and I worked in cosplay too. I wore a volunteer shirt, but I kind of loosely hid it.
That's cool. Usually they don't let you do that. Usually it's like you're volunteering. No. You can't be dressed up.
No. But I did it. I got away with it. What was it? Saturday I was Marty, and then Sunday I was Indiana Jones, and that's cool. That actually works out because like if during the photo op when you're telling people to stay in line, you just probably cracked your whip, be like, hey, get back in line, I sort of threatened to do that, but I didn't really crack it. They're like, no, you can't use the whip. I would have been in huge trouble. Yeah, they're like, get out of here, you're crazy. Yeah. But that was a lot of fun though, even though it was very, very, very disorganized. I kind of miss it. And that was that was a huge convention. Like there were so many people. It was insane. It was massive. And I was just like, I don't think you guys can handle this many people. Right. And I remember a lot of people that year, especially where they were saying that, this con we thought was trying to compensate for WonderCon. You know,
Oh,
because
yeah.
WonderCon,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
used to be in the Bay Area before they moved to Anaheim and
Yep.
became the
Yep.
huge con that it is
Yep.
now. You know, so
Yep.
you know,
I know.
yeah,
I missed.
I've been to what's up?
Oh, no, you're gonna go ahead.
Listen, I've been to WonderCon 2018, 2 years ago, and when it was already in Anaheim, and
Yeah, yeah.
that con was huge, man.
Yeah, I don't even know what WonderCon is like now, but I went to a 2008 WonderCon in San Francisco, and that was they had Christian. They just announced Christian Bale was Batman, and I was like, oh my, that was probably like my Hall H moment, you know, of being able to like
Wow, cool.
see an A-list celebrity. But like after that year, they moved to SoCal, and I was so pissed.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I was like, was there not enough people here? Because it was, I mean, there actually weren't that many people, which is great.
Oh,
But
really?
I guess it didn't, you know, I mean, it's probably making like 4 times as many, you know, people now. But yeah, there's just not enough space in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, it's also sad what happened to San Francisco Comic Con. It's last year they were in Oakland.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, not even in San Francisco, you know.
It was in Oakland.
It was in Oakland.
Yeah, yeah. Did you go to the Wizard World?
Oh, in last year in Oakland?
Yeah.
I was there, yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I feel like I was trying to think like when you first asked me to, you know, be interviewed and stuff, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy because I was looking at your Instagram. I was like, I've seen you, you know.
yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, I have seen you, and it was because of the splits. You know, that's like your signature move.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
can you explain a little bit like what is the obsession with the splits? And you got to tell me where you got that shirt.
Oh, okay. So first off, I got this T-shirt from the JCVD website, the Jean-Claude Van Damme website.
I'm gonna get one of those right now.
Yeah, I literally got it yesterday, and
That's so awesome. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Thanks. It's you know, it's Kickboxer.
Yeah, yeah. It's the greatest dancing scene of all time.
Exactly. You know, and so your question was what, you know, why the splits, why that's my signature move or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, first off, I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan.
Same here.
Obviously, yeah. You know, if you've seen my Instagram, you've seen me do the splits and his famous helicopter kick, which, you know, I don't get why my fat body can do that still, you know.
Yeah,
but,
I was like, dude, this guy is flexible.
Yeah, you know, it turns out I am. Well, I've always had that kind of flexibility throughout the years, but you know, I remember 3 years ago, I was I needed like this workout routine, you know, that I just I need something to just kind of get me going and stuff like that, and I remember looking up on YouTube, like, you know, like I looked up on YouTube like how to do the splits in 48 hours or 2 weeks or whatever, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get that flexible. You know, I'm you know, like I said, I'm a big Van Damme fan, and I love all of his movies, and you know, I've always wanted to do the stuff that he does, and you know, and I've studied martial arts throughout the years, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, I used to do Taekwondo as a kid, and a lot of the stuff I still remember, you know, from back then, and I, well, you know, when I you know, looked up on YouTube, you know, how to do the splits and everything, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like, I did this whole workout routine that I kind of got from a few different YouTube videos, and I made my own. I basically made my own workout routine, and I just like, you know, after like I did this 30-day thing. It took me a month to do the splits basically, and I did like half an hour of stretching every day, and I was really into it. I was like, dang. And then I remember week number 2, I can do a left and right split. I was like, oh, what?
Huh.
Whoa. I was like so impressed with myself, and I was like, okay, all right, you know, I'm gonna, you know. Then 2 weeks later, I went from a left and right split to a middle split, and I was like, wow, this is insane.
Wait, so are you saying like a split on the ground or a split in the air?
Oh, so split on the ground first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, you were
yeah,
already okay. Got it.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
no.
I just
So
wanted to clarify.
I was still getting to that. Yeah. So just after I learned how to do the splits, and and being amazed at myself, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. What if I can do Van Damme's signature helicopter kick? And I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
snap!
yeah. And there is a YouTube video that I where I learned from. I learned how to do that. It was Ginger Ninja Tricksters.
That's a
How to do
great name.
yeah. He's a great uh, uh, martial artist. He's a pretty flexible guy, and I see him sometimes cosplaying as Spider-Man and doing all his kicks and stuff like that. So, anyways, I looked up this video, his video on how to do Van Damme's helicopter kick, and funny I brought up myself, taking Taekwondo as a kid, the way he explained, how to do the kick was, just do this and do that. I'm like, hey, I learned how to do this and that when I was a kid. This shouldn't be a problem. I'm flexible enough to do it. All I got to do is just, all I got to do is just, do a 360, put your whole body into it, do the kick, make sure you kick the back leg into a split and everything, whatever he says in the video. And lo and behold, I did it.
Wow.
I did it, and I was like, wow, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey.
like what Doc Brown said, if you can put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything,
Yeah, for sure. I was just like, okay, when I first saw one image, I was like, okay, that's got to be like Photoshop or something. And then I saw more and more in different areas, and I was like, oh shoot, this guy's legit. He can really do it.
A lot of people would tell me that. They're like, yeah, dude, I saw your picture with your you're split midair. It's like, is that true? And then I do it right in front of their face. Like I do a kick an inch away from the face, and they're like, okay, he's legit. All right, all right.
Yep. Well, I knew you could do it for real when you were in the Bruce Lee yellow onesie. I was like, okay, because you can't fake it when you're in a onesie, but you can maybe fake it if you're like if you got like props and like a huge costume, but like in a Bruce Lee onesie, you can't hide. So that's
no, not at all. There's just I did not take a picture of myself doing a helicopter kick, but I was in a split, with the nunchucks,
Mm-hmm.
So
that was a really cool photo, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was at Christmas in the Park, I think last year.
Oh, nice.
In San Jose. Yeah. That was I think the one time I wore that cosplay, the only time I wore that cosplay.
Really? Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, what was the last convention you went to?
Oh, East Bay Comic-Con this year.
I wanted to go to that so bad. Was that the one where Frank Cho was supposed to be a guest artist?
I can't remember. Who was the guest at that con anyway? I can't remember.
This is the one in Concord, right?
Yes, in Concord, in the East Bay. Obviously, East Bay Comic Con. It's in Concord, and they were able to have one this year just before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
That is where I debuted my James Bond cosplay.
Oh, nice.
That was a really awesome cosplay, and I recently had I think it was on my personal Facebook or on Instagram or something like that. I kind of had a questionnaire. It's like, hey, what's your favorite cosplay of mine? A lot of people obviously said Marty McFly, but a lot more people said James Bond. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people cosplay as James Bond, so that's probably why. Like, they don't. That's not a very common character to dress up as.
Well, yeah, no, not really, no. But the thing is, like, it's a very simple cosplay.
Yeah.
Just tuxedo, Walter PPK with maybe a silencer, a fancy watch.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Always the pose, right? It's always the pose. It's always like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to. Well, I'm a huge James Bond fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? So George Lazenby, that second actor who played James Bond, he has no business being an actor or whatever, But all of a sudden, boom, he's James Bond. And I was like, you know what? If he could be James Bond, maybe I could be James Bond.
Yeah.
You know?
He's the one that gives us all hope.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I was like, you know what? I cut my hair into like a Daniel Craig style thingy. And
yeah.
And, you know, I got a tuxedo that just looked, you know, that fits right for me. I got the Walther PPK, you know, the gun itself, or the BB gun version.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Can't bring actual guns to actual guns, but and then I got like you know, just some kind of watch, you know, and yeah, I pulled off being James Bond, and that was a pretty cool thing. And I was at a small con too. I was like, you know what, if this cosplay doesn't really do it, you know, at least this is a small con. But lo and behold, it, you know, they're like, dude, that's James Bond. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a guitar player.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to do another cosplay that gets me to bring a guitar to a con, you know, just like
that'd
Marty,
be cool.
You know, and just also like Prince, you know, I always bring a guitar to a con.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah, at least as of 2 years ago, I started doing that, you know, which not a whole lot of people do, and I came up with this portable rig, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring guitars to cons, and you know, and I always make a whole lot of people smile, you know, with that. So.
And then they find out it's a real guitar because they probably think it's a prop, right? And then you're like, like, no, it's real.
Yeah, they were like, yeah. I've had a couple friends who are like, I thought you were just like, you had some music on, you were jamming, but you're actually playing. I'm like, yeah, I am. Yeah. And then I always admit to them that, you know, my day job is teaching guitar. So.
Yeah. Got it.
And you know, they're like, oh, you know, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, they're like, wow, I think that's really good.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing for almost 14 years and teaching.
So
almost 7 or 8 years. So, you know.
So you kind of know how to play guitar.
Kind of. Yeah. Like a little
bit.
I'm kind of good. Kind of. Yeah. In fact, I had my, you know, not only did I bring this guitar with me to this interview with, you know, just to have some confidence. I actually try it out with the current rig I have right now to, you know, if it'll sound good. It kind of is wonky, but if you do want me to play something though, I am ready to go for that. So
hey, yeah, let's hear it. Play it.
All right, cool.
Go.
Let's see. I can't play it too loud, so it's going to be a little bit clean. I actually have I'm running through an old school tube amp.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Aaron, what can I play for you? We're down Louisiana, down New Orleans. We're back up on the woods, among the evergreens. There's still a log cabin made of wealthy wood. We live a country boy named Johnny B. Good. We never ever learned to read or write so well, but he can play guitar. He's like he's ringing a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, Johnny B. Good. Whew, I got a little nervous there, but yeah.
Wow, that was.
Thank you.
That was impressive. I was like, at first I was like, okay, I'll let this guy play a couple of tunes. I was like, okay, you're good. That was awesome, man. I really appreciated.
And I always gotta end that tune with, I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it.
That's right. That's what he says right before he gets off stage.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was amazing, man. That was really great. I was like, yeah, that was amazing. I really appreciated that.
Thank you. Yeah, I sort of messed up, but it's okay. You know, at least you like.
I think most people. It sounded good. It sounded good to me. I'm pretty sure most people aren't going to be like, oh, you missed a couple there. I don't.
Yeah.
It sounded great.
Yeah, I actually I'm still trying to get used to this guitar too.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a new guitar. Yeah, it's I just recently got it like a few weeks ago, and it's kind of heavy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed because it's just kind of been sitting there. I'm like, oh, he's not carrying it around with him, so.
yeah, I know, and B, I don't know. There's some technical things like fret blockage. When I get up here, like to the higher
Oh.
frets, it's like okay, well, there's the Les Paul feel, you know. It's a Gibson Les Paul, so that's the name of the guitar, and it's well, actually, this guitar's name is Jimmy. I named it after Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, because
Wow. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
I'm a total rocker. You can tell by
Yeah.
all
It's
the True
cool.
Rush posters.
I see that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's really rare to find somebody who's into like rock and roll music and also like nerdy stuff. So and
You know,
cosplay.
yeah,
That's a very rare combination.
oh yeah. Well, now that I think of it, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, you know, I can't really name, you know, like maybe I can actually. Yeah, I think I can, but at the same time, there's not that very many.
Yeah. It's not common. That's what I'm just saying. It's like
Definitely.
yeah.
I don't think it is common. Yeah, like well, there is one guy though. He's not a cosplayer, but he's a total metalhead, and I see him at cons all the time. You know, if he's watching this video, hey, what's up, Will? He goes under Toy Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a vendor at like almost all the Bay Area cons.
Oh, then I'm sure I've seen him. Yep.
Yeah, and he sells a lot of like metal, you know, and horror figures and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, his booth is always full of like you know, like Rush pins or something like that, and like, you know, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, you know, action figures, and maybe Alien Predator here, and then a bunch of like Iron Maiden masks and Slipknot masks, and, you know. Yeah,
I'm trying to think like maybe I haven't seen him because I thought the guy you were talking about was like the guy who always has like the Gremlins statue on his desk. So maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, other than that, you know, like I don't know, like I remember there's this one guy, he cosplayed as Slash at San Francisco Comic-Con one time. And I remember seeing him again at WonderCon in Anaheim, and then also at Silicon Valley Comic-Con a couple weeks after Anaheim. Was it WonderCon 2018? I don't know where he went. He kind of disappeared. I never got his contact info or anything. But I've never seen a Slash cosplayer at a con before, and I was like, oh wow, that's Slash. And he actually had a Gibson Les Paul, and I actually borrowed it for a couple seconds, and I shredded.
Oh wow.
Ended up out shredding Slash or whatever, you know.
That's
whatever.
funny.
Yeah, and but yeah, he was a cool dude. And knew a lot about Guns N' Roses and rock in general, you know. And yeah, for some
maybe
reason,
it was really him.
Yeah, maybe it was. You know, that's sometimes, you know, what keeps me up at night. It's like, what if that actually?
What if you already met? Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, okay. You know, and you know, he was a pretty cool dude. I never saw him again after Silicon Valley Comic-Con 2018, you know. I don't know. But I think it might be Slash.
Right. Well, maybe it was him because he was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go to any more cons now, so.
Yeah.
But where can people find you? Where online if they want to like follow your cosplay? Where can they find you?
Okay, so on Instagram, Facebook as well, Twitter, YouTube, but I'm trying to get my YouTube page going at some point, you know. But you know, it's under the same name, Fatboy Cosplay. Oh yeah, to those who are embarrassed to say Fatboy Cosplay, you know, like, you know, or say the word Fatboy, because people kind of, you know, they think it's kind of like a bad word or something, you know. Yeah. I don't mind at all. It's there for a reason. And also, I'm also not secretly, but I'm also loosely sort of promoting body positivity, you know, through my cosplay, because I'm a plus size guy, and I'm trying to encourage. I'm trying to encourage, you know, people around me to go, hey, you know what? You can, you know, like what Doc Brown said, if you can put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. You know, you can also, you know, anybody can cosplay, you know. including me. I look like almost none of the almost all the characters that I cosplay. I look like almost none of them, maybe except for one, which is Dustin from Stranger Things, you know. But but I don't look like Marty McFly. I don't look like Kung Fury. I don't look like Guile from the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
I don't look like Prince. I don't look like the Terminator. I'm too fat to be the Terminator or whatever. You know, I don't look like Angus Young, you know, so on and so forth. Or Indiana Jones, whatever. But I still do it anyway. I get up to screen accuracy, you know. I build the confidence in it. I get into character and everything, and, you know. And yeah, there you have it. You know, that's just like, that's what I do, and I have a lot of fun. I still do cosplay just for fun. You know, I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me happy going to a con and, you know, making thousands of people smile, maybe by playing guitar or maybe somebody coming up to me going, "Oh, I love your cosplay. You know, looks great," and everything. You know, yeah. I do it just for fun, and you know, everything that cosplay has given me, which is just, it's a lot. The community, you know, all those sorts of people that I know, and you know, all the celebrities that I've met even as well. You know, it's like, wow, I just, it's a blessing. Definitely is. I definitely made that right decision, you know, or that was one of the most awesome decisions I've ever made almost 4 or 5 years ago, getting into cosplay. You know, I obviously didn't know what I was getting into, but when I found out, I was like, wow, this is great. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about cosplay is it's for everybody.
It is,
and it's such a supportive community. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter where you're from or like what your body type is. It's like, as long as you have a passion for the character you're trying to be, you know, they don't care. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right, Joe, take it easy.
Alrighty, you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.